Hello, this is the welcome student. This is the third part of the electoral politics civics class 9th. In previous lecture part, we have seen reserve constituencies, then voter list, then nomination of the candidate and educational qualification for the candidate. We have seen. Now, before to that, we will discuss about the Lok Sabha constituency. Lok Sabha constituency in India, which is on the page number 63 of your textbook. So 63 page of your textbook, which is given map of India related to the constituency. So here a Lok Sabha constituency, total constituencies in India, they are 543. Out of that, 423 constituencies, they are general, and 79 they are reserve, which shows in this map brown color 79 reserve for the SC, and green color that indicates reserve constituencies, their number, they are 41, which shows in the green color. So here 543 constituencies are there in the Lok Sabha or Lok Sabha constituencies. They are 543 in India, and state-wise constituencies, number of constituencies given. In short, they are given state constituency, that is Andhra Pradesh 42 constituencies are there. Arunachal, means it depends upon the size of that particular state. Arunachal only 2 constituency. Assam they are 14. Bihar 40. Then Gujarat, that they are 20. There are 26 constituencies. Then if we talk about the Maharashtra, there are 48 constituencies, Lok Sabha constituencies in Maharashtra. Means for the parliament, as a MPs, member of parliament, 48 representative elects from these 48 constituencies. So state-wise numbers are given here. Here given Uttar Pradesh, UP, they are 80. Now UP's constituency, they are increased. They becomes 84. So all this about the constituencies, Lok Sabha constituencies in India. So their number that we discuss here. Then here page number 64. We have seen in short, now come to the detail about the educational qualification for the candidates. Educational qualification for the candidate. Why is there no education qualification for holding such an important position when some kinds of educational qualification is needed for any other jobs in the country? Means for getting any job, we require some particular job training or education. So educational qualification are not relevant to all kinds of the job. Yesterday we have seen about the example of cricket. So here given example, in our country putting an educational qualification would go against the spirit of democracy for yet another reason. It would means depriving the majority of countries citizens the right to contest election. Means specific education, if they kept um, BA, BCom or BSc, so maximum population or citizens automatically they they would be rejected for getting this or deprive the majority of countries citizens the right to contest election. So if for example graduate degree like BA, BCom and BSc are made compulsory for the candidates, more than 90% means how many candidates would be automatically rejected, that is 90% if they keep such a qualification basic. So citizens will become the ineligible to contest the election. Example it is given here. Even if the education was relevant, should be left to the people to decide how much importance they give to the educational qualification. So all this is about the, we have taken also the example of cricket team. For example, it is the attainment of educational degrees, but the ability to play cricket well means there is no importance whether the particular player taken degree, achieve degree, particular degree, it is not important, but how he or he plays cricket, that thing it is important instead of essential qualification or degree. Skill it is required here. So for the representative, electing representative, people have some skill how to handle the policies, how to run the countries or political interest for serving nation. All these things are important instead of degree education. Then come to the page number 65. Here given electoral roll 2005 state Mizoram. Electoral roll we have seen. And then here given 2005 state Mizoram election. Here given name of the reservation status assembly, that is ST 17 Saitul. It is name of the constituency, assembly constituency. So detail of the revision, they are year of the revision 2005, then qualifying date 1/1/2006, then type of revision, special summary, and date of publication 2010-2005. And then given here detail of the part and polling area, number and name of the section in the part, that is Tolbang, main village, town, then RD blocks, police station, then subdivisions, district and pin code. All these details are there about the part and polling area. And in third column given state code and name of name, that is S16 Mizoram Assembly Constituency, number of name, and all these things are related in this chart. So these are essential, which is on the page number 66 of your textbook. Then come to the page number 66. match the following features of our electoral system with the principles they reflect. So here given principle and feature of election. So universal adult franchise means what? Everyone who is 18 years of their age or older has right to vote. That is universal adult franchise. Then representation of the weaker section. Representation of the weaker section. Reservation of the seats for SC and ST. Then third one, open political competition. Open political competition. Anyone can form the party or contest election. And fourth one is that one vote, one value. Each constituency has roughly the same population. So here we have seen we have to see here election campaign. Election campaign, it is having significance for the election. So the main aim or main purpose of the election is to give people a chance to choose the representative, the government and the policies they prefer. Therefore, it is necessary to have the free and open discussion. What is necessary? It is necessary to have the free and open discussion about who is better representative and which party will make the better government and what is good policy. So these are important, means on this matter there should be the important discussion for the campaign. This is what happened during the election campaign. In our country, such a campaigns take place for 2 weeks period. How much period is there? 2 weeks means 15 days period between the announcement of final list of candidate and date of polling. So during this period, candidates contact their voters. They visit to the voters which live in the different areas which belonging to their constituency. Then political leaders address election meeting and political parties mobilize their supporters in this election campaign. This is also the period when newspaper and televisions news are full of election related story. You might have observed during the time of election, news, TV news, radio news or newspapers, their news full of the related election stories and debates. But election campaign is not limited. What is the thing? That election campaign is not limited to these 2 weeks only. Political parties start preparing for the elections month before they actually take place. Means though the 15 days time it is given by the election commission for the campaign, but it starts from much months before or year before the exam. Before the election. Election means election, it is the exam of these political leaders who belonging to different party or individual. So their campaigns start from the many months or even though years ago. Then in election campaigns, political parties try to focus public attentions. In this campaign, political party, what they do, they try to focus the public attention. Anyhow, they wanted to get the public attention or attract the public on some big issues. Parties is having some issues. Different parties, they have different agendas. They wanted to attract the public. What is there inside? To attract the public to that issues and get them to vote. Get them to vote for their party on the basis. So let us look at some of the successful slogan given by the different political parties in various elections. So some party slogans which are well familiar to the people and generally they use at the time of the election. So some specific slogans are given about the leading parties. First, the Congress party, that led by whom Indira Gandhi gave the slogan that is Garibi Hatao, remove poverty. It was the slogan becomes very popular in those days of this Congress party in Lok Sabha election 1971. The party promised to reorient all the policies of the government to remove poverty from the country. So main objective at the time of election campaign 1971 of this Congress party, Garibi Hata, that is remove poverty. Then save democracy. Another slogan is given here, save democracy. Was the slogan given by the Janata Party in the next Lok Sabha election, that is 1977. Janata Party's government form, so their slogan during the campaign, that was save democracy. In the year 1977, the party promised to undo the excesses committee during the emergency and store civil liberties. Then left front use the slogan. Third one is left front. What slogan they use? Land to the tiller. Land to the टिलर्स. टिलर्स मीन जो खुद कल्टिवेट करते हैं, पीजेंट. सो दे आर कॉल्ड हियर टीलर. और जो कल्टिवेट करते हैं उसकी ही लैंड मीन्स लैंड टू द टीलर इन द वेस्ट बंगाल असेंबली इलेक्शन हेल्ड इन 1977. So who gave this left front slogan? They use land to the tiller. Which state? West Bengal Assembly election 1977. Then another one given here, protect the self of the Telugus. Protect the self-respect of whose? Telugus. So this one was the slogan used by whom? N.T. Ramarao. Who was he? The leader of Telugu Desam party. And which state that was belonging to the Andhra Pradesh Assembly election. And year was 1983. Means all these are the some hypothetical or important slogans given by the different time at the time of election, different years. In a democracy, it is best to leave political parties and candidates free to conduct their election campaigns the way they want to, but it is sometimes necessary to regulate campaign to ensure that every political party and candidate gets fair every candidates and political party gets fair and equal chance to compete मीन्स कॉम्पीट करने के लिए इनको हर कैंडिडेट को हर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को फेयर अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलनी चाहिए, इक्वल चांस मिलना चाहिए. सो पार्टी ब्राइब्स और थ्रेटन वोटर्स means party here given according to the election law. As per the election law, no party or candidate can. election law के अनुसार पार्टी या कैंडिडेट ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. रिस्ट्रिक्शंस आर देयर. विच आर दिस? ब्राइब और थ्रेटन वोटर. किसी के पास से ब्राइब या मनी लेना या वोटर को धमकाना. थ्रेटन मीन्स डर दिखाना. इट इज़ नॉट फेयर as per the election law. Then second, appeal to them in the name of caste or religion. Generally it happens for appeal when candidates appeal to the voters. So they generally use the caste and religion. कहते हैं कि we are belonging to the same caste or community or religion, but it should not be like this as per the election commission or laws as per the election commission. Then third one, use of government resources for the election campaign. Use of the election resources for the election campaign. There, as per the election commission laws, it is prevented for using the administrative machineries or resources for the election campaign. Generally, ruling party, they exploit this administrative machinery even though the resources belonging to the government, because rule of this party, and they use government machineries, administrative machinery as well as vehicle. So, but as per the law introduced by the election commission, all these are prevented. Means there is need to properly implement. Then next one, spend more than rupees 25 lakh in the constituency of Lok Sabha election and rupees 10 lakh in the constituency in the assembly election. Means limitation given for expenditure in Lok Sabha and state assembly election. They decided limitation 25 lakhs for the Lok Sabha they can expend, and 10 lakh only in the constituency assembly election. If they spend more than this, they would have to be face difficulties or as per restrictions imposed by the election laws. If they do so, their election can be rejected if they do not follow the restrictions or laws imposed by the election commission. If they do not follow, then election can be rejected by the court even after they have been declared elected. In addition to the laws, all the political parties in our country have agreed to a model, that is code of conduct for the election campaign, and this is called these rules which imposed by the name of election laws to the parties candidates, and they are called the code of conduct for the election campaign. According to this, no party or candidate can, as per the code of conduct, that is, no party or candidates can use any place of worship for the election propaganda. इलेक्शन प्रोपोगंडा के लिए, प्रोपोगंडा मीन्स प्रोफेस, प्रचार के लिए जो प्लेस है, वर्शिप प्लेस और रिलीजियस प्लेस यूज नहीं कर सकते. देन नेक्स्ट वन, गवर्नमेंट व्हीकल, aircraft and officials for the election, means no party, or though if the party, it is a ruling party, but still that party, though they are in the ruling, their government is there, but they can't use the government vehicle for this campaign purpose, or aircraft and officials for the election, or administrative machinery for the election, they can't use. Once the elections are announced, minister shall not lay the foundation stones of any project. जैसे इलेक्शन अनाउंस होते हैं तो अनाउंसमेंट के बाद कोई भी मिनिस्टर है, they can't announce, or they shall not lay any foundation stones of any project after the declaration of election, even though take any big policy decision. बड़े पॉलिसी डिसीजन भी वो नहीं ले सकते after announcing the election, and make any promises of providing the public facilities. पब्लिक फैसिलिटी के लिए कोई भी अश्योरेंस या promises नहीं दे सकते. All these are the preventive measures in democratic election. Then polling and counting of votes. Polling and counting of votes. Polling and counting of votes, the final stage of an election is the day when voters cast or poll their votes. That day is usually called the election day. और उसको क्या कहते हैं? Election day. That day is usually called the election day. Election usually called election day. Every person whose name is on the voter list, every person whose name is on the voter list can go to nearby polling booth situated usually the local school or government offices. Once the voter goes inside the booth, एक बार वो बूथ के अंदर जाते हैं, the election official identify her, put a mark on her finger and allow her to cast her vote. An agent of each candidate is allowed to sit inside the polling booth. हर कैंडिडेट के जो एजेंट होते हैं उनको भी अलाउड होता है inside the polling booth, and ensure that voting takes place in a fair way. Why they have entry in this polling booth? Just for showing that whatever election taken place here in polling booth, ensure that voting takes place in a fair way. So then, are the election too expensive for our country? Before to that, we have discussed some limitation imposed by the election commission for spending how much money, that is 25 lakh in the assembly Lok Sabha election and 10 lakh constituency in the assembly election. यदि उसके ऊपर जाते तो it is not as per the election commission laws. Or heading is here, are the election too expensive in our country? हमारे कंट्री में इलेक्शन जो है वो बहुत एक्सपेंसिव होते हैं क्या? दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. So we'll see what is given discussion here. A large amount of money is spent in conducting the election in India. For instance, the government spent about 1,300 crore in conducting Lok Sabha election in 2004, but limitation was that is 25 lakh only. So number of time it is more as per decided. That works out to about 20 per person on the voter list. Rupees 20 per person on voter list. Means expenditure it is of the 20 rupees 20 per person in voter list as per this. The amount spent by the parties and candidates was more than what the government spent. Roughly speaking, the expenditure made by the government, parties and the candidates was around rupees 3,000 crore or rupees 50 per voter. Some people say that elections are burden on our people, that our poor country cannot afford to hold the election. Poor people cannot afford to hold the election once every 5 years. Let us complete this expenditure with some other figures. If we talk about the 2005, our government decided to buy the 6 nuclear submarines. Government decided at this time 2005 to buy the 6 nuclear marine from France. Each submarine will cost about rupees 3,000 crore. Then Delhi plans to host Commonwealth Game. Delhi plans to host the Commonwealth Game in 2010. The current estimate for its cost is about 2,000 crore. See what a big figure these are. Are the election too expensive? If we consider about the Commonwealth Game expenditure, 2,000 crore. So as comparing to this elections expenditure, that is 3,000 crore, it is not much figure as comparing to the expenditure on this Commonwealth Game. But limitation it is very less from the election commission. आर द इलेक्शन टू एक्सपेंसिव? यदि वो हम देखते हैं तो हम कह सकते हैं कि इलेक्शंस दे आर मीन्स आर द इलेक्शन टू एक्सपेंसिव, यू डिसाइड इट. सो इलेक्शन रिजल्ट इन गुलबर्गा. Election result in Gulbarga, which is on the page number 60 of your textbook. So election commission in Gulbarga which is on the textbook page number 68 of your textbook. See here. Election result in Gulbarga. Let us go back to our example of Gulbarga in 2004. 2004, total of 11 candidates contested election. In that constituency, how many candidates were there? 11. In that constituency, the total eligible voters, they were 14.39 lakh of these 8.28 lakhs voter had cast their votes, means they given vote, that is 8.28 lakh out of 14.39 lakh. The candidates of the Congress party, Iqbal Ahmed Sarandagi, that secure about 3.12 lakh votes. This was only about 38% of the total votes polled. टोटल वोट के कितने परसेंट मिले थे? 38 to this candidate. But since he had secured more votes than anyone else, means he was in the majority comparing to the other candidates, was declared as a member of parliament from Gulbarga Lok Sabha constituency. So here election 2004, some general election to the Lok Sabha, some numbers are given, that is name of the different candidates, different names, then parties INC, BJP, JD, BSP, IND, different parties they belonging, and voter poll and percentage of the votes. So here Iqbal Ahmed Sarangi, who was elected or got the majority of vote, that is 37.76%. So from this, what is the percentage of voters who had actually cast their vote? So percentage you can take out, you can discuss percentage of the voters. Then another, to win the election, it is necessary for the person to secure more than half of the votes polled. Means these are the criteria. So here, earlier, the voters used to indicate who they wanted to vote for by putting the stamp on the ballot paper. Ballot paper is a sheet of paper. Now EVM machine used here, but ballot paper they were using in this election. So sheets of paper on which the names of the contesting candidates along with the party name and their symbols, they are listed. Nowadays EVM machines are there for the record of voters. Then machines shows the name of candidate and party symbol, and independent candidates to have their own symbol. Allotted by whom? That is election officials. All the voters has to do its is to press the button. Voters has to press the button against the name of candidate. We are talking about the EVM machine. She wants to her vote. So once the polling is over, all the EVMs are sealed. वोटिंग होने के बाद क्या होता है? ईवीएम मशीन सील होती है एंड टेकन टू होम? सिक्योर प्लेस में वो लेके जाते हैं. A few days later, on the fixed date, all the EVMs from a constituency are open and votes secured by each candidate are counted. This is the process of this election commission. So this is the end of this part. We'll start it on next.